Today's video is about a coin that hides in plain sight, a piece of American history that you might just have sitting in your pocket change right now. We're talking about the 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm and continues to surprise collectors and investors alike. Let's dive deep into the history, value, and current market trends surrounding the 1967 Liberty Quarter, a coin that's worth so much more than just 25 cents. The story begins in 1965. A turning point in American coinage history. The U.S. Mint made one of the biggest changes ever to its coins. Because of the rising price of silver, they stopped using silver in circulating quarters. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them both shine and intrinsic metal value. But starting from 1965, the Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition, a coin with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of nickel. The 1967 quarter belongs to this new generation, and while most are made of common materials, certain variations and minting errors have made this coin a true collector's dream. Now, the Liberty 1967 quarter carries the portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, on the obverse side. Designed by John Flanagan, this portrait had been used on U.S. quarters since 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. The word "Liberty" is boldly struck across the top, symbolizing freedom and American pride, with the national motto, "In God We Trust," resting beside Washington's neck. The date 1967 sits neatly below, simple yet powerful, marking an era of transition in American coinage. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the majestic American eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch, a classic symbol of strength and peace. The words "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," circle the top, while "quarter dollar" stands proudly at the bottom. Every detail of this design connects the coin to America's spirit and history. Now, let's talk about the real excitement, the value. Most people think a 1967 quarter is worth only 25 cents, but that's far from the truth. While the majority of these coins are common, there are hidden gems among them that are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition, mint errors, and rarity. The 1967 Liberty Quarter was produced during a time when no mint marks were used on U.S. coins. That's right, there are no D, S, or P marks. The Mint suspended mint marks from 1965 to 1967 to discourage coin hoarding during the silver shortage. Because of that, we can't tell if a 1967 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But what makes some of these coins incredibly valuable are minting errors and high-grade conditions. Collectors are always hunting for 1967 quarters with striking errors, like double die obverse, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. Some 1967 quarters were even mistakenly struck on silver planchets left over from earlier years, and these are among the rarest treasures of all. Imagine finding one of those in your change. It could be worth thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about grading, which determines how much your coin could sell for. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. A circulated 1967 quarter, the kind that's been used in everyday transactions, might be worth around 25 cents to $1, depending on its condition. But if your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially if it has brilliant luster and sharp detail, the value can skyrocket. A 1967 Washington quarter in MS-67 condition has sold for over $7,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $7,000 for a coin that looks almost new, with perfect luster and no visible wear. Even coins graded MS-65 or MS-66 can fetch between $100 and $500 depending on demand. And if your coin has an error, like a double die or off-center strike, the price could go even higher. Now, what about the current market value? As of today, collectors and dealers are actively buying 1967 Liberty quarters in top condition. The average market value for a standard 1967 quarter in circulated condition is still about 25 cents, but the collectible and error varieties can go from $50 to $898. even $958 depending on the grade, luster, and error type. That's almost $1,000 for a coin that once jingled in someone's pocket half a century ago. Collectors also look for coins with strong strikes, deep cameo proofs, or mirror-like finishes. Even though no proof coins were officially released for circulation in 1967, there are special mint sets, SMS, made for collectors that year. These coins often have a satin or proof-like finish, and high-grade examples from SMS sets can also command hundreds of dollars in today's market. Let's not forget the historical importance of the 1967 Liberty Quarter. It represents a shift in America's economy, moving away from silver and into modern coinage. It's a coin that tells a story of inflation, innovation, and the resilience of the U.S. Mint. Every time you hold one, you're holding a small piece of that story. Imagine the thrill of discovering one of these rare 1967 Liberty Quarters in your old coin jar, a coin collection, or even your pocket change. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting, the idea that something so ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. So, the next time you come across a 1967 quarter, don't just spend it. Take a moment to look closely. Check for sharp details, unusual colors, minting errors, or anything that stands out. You might just be holding a coin that's worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, and remember, the coin market is constantly changing. As demand grows, the value of rare and high-grade coins continues to climb. Many experts believe that the 1967 Liberty Quarter will keep increasing in value over time, especially as collectors compete for the few pristine examples left in existence. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked yet potentially valuable coins in American history, the 1978 Liberty Quarter Dollar. This small piece of American change could be sitting right in your pocket or tucked away in an old drawer, but what if I told you it could be worth an astonishing $898,957 in today's coin market? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes the 1978 Liberty Quarter so rare, how to identify valuable varieties, and what collectors are paying for them right now. Let's begin with the history of the 1978 Liberty Quarter. The coin belongs to the famous Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the Washington Quarter features Washington's bust on the obverse, or front side, and an American eagle on the reverse, proudly spreading its wings, a symbol of strength, freedom, and national pride. By 1978, the United States Mint was producing quarters primarily made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, replacing the 90% silver content that earlier quarters had before 1965. That means the standard 1978 quarter doesn't contain silver, but here's the shocking part: certain error coins and rare varieties from this year have become collector legends, commanding prices that most people can't even imagine. The 1978 Liberty Quarter was struck in three main locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with AD, and San Francisco, marked with an S, for proof coins. Each mint location produced millions of quarters, but only a small handful of them came out with unique characteristics, errors, die varieties, and minting anomalies that have made them incredibly valuable today. One of the most sought-after versions is the 1978 D quarter with striking errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and missing clad layers. A double die error means the design was impressed twice onto the coin, slightly shifted, creating a doubling effect on letters, numbers, or features of Washington's face. If you look closely and see doubled lettering on Liberty or the date, 1978, you might be holding a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Collectors have reported paying anywhere from $1,000 to over $10,000 for high-grade, mint-condition 1978 quarters with visible doubling or other unusual errors. But here's where it gets truly incredible: a rare mint state specimen of the 1978 Liberty Quarter with near-perfect luster, flawless surface, and exceptional strike quality was valued in the market at an unbelievable $898,957 during a high-profile auction. That's right, almost $1 million for a coin that once had a face value of just 25 cents. Now, you might wonder, why are collectors willing to pay such high prices? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. The coin market values perfection. Quarters that have survived over 4 decades without scratches, wear, or discoloration are extremely scarce. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can fetch astonishing amounts because they represent the finest known examples of their kind, but even if your 1978 quarter isn't flawless, don't underestimate it. Certain error varieties have become the focus of intense collector interest. For example, coins with a clipped planchet, where part of the coin is missing due to a cutting mistake, can sell for hundreds of dollars. Another exciting discovery is the transitional error, where the coin was accidentally struck on a leftover silver planchet or a planchet intended for another denomination, like a nickel or a dollar. These mistakes are extremely rare, but if you happen to find one, you could be holding a piece worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about proof coins from 1978. These were minted at San Francisco with the S mint mark and intended for collectors. Proof coins have mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. A 1978 S-proof quarter in pristine condition, graded PR70 deep cameo, can sell for hundreds of dollars. But if it has an error, such as a double die or wrong planchet strike, its value can skyrocket. The current coin market in 2025 has seen a renewed interest in vintage quarters, especially from the 1970s and early 1980s. Collectors are hunting for coins with exceptional eye appeal, unique toning, and certified grades. Online marketplaces, coin shows, and auctions have seen 1978 Liberty quarters selling anywhere between $50 to nearly $900,000, depending on rarity, mint error, and condition. What makes the 1978 quarter even more fascinating is that many people still overlook it. It's one of those coins that doesn't immediately stand out, no silver content, no famous design change, yet under the surface, it hides incredible stories of minting precision, historical significance, and collector passion. Imagine the thrill of finding one in a roll of quarters, an old coin jar, or a collection passed down from a relative. That's what makes coin collecting so special, the excitement of discovering hidden treasures in plain sight. So, how can you tell if your 1978 Liberty quarter is valuable? Start by examining it under good lighting with a magnifying glass. Check for any doubling in the lettering, especially on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Look for missing letters, off-center designs, or strange edges. If you see any unusual features, your next step is to get it professionally graded. A certified grade not only confirms the authenticity and quality but also boosts its market value significantly. And here's another tip: keep an eye on auction records and coin pricing guides, because coin values can change rapidly. The coin market, much like the stock market, reacts to collector trends, discoveries of new varieties, and the general economy. What might be a $500 coin today could become a $5,000 coin tomorrow if the right collector enters the market or a new rarity is confirmed. The Liberty 1978 quarter dollar stands as a perfect example of how every coin tells a story of American craftsmanship, history, and the pursuit of perfection. From the engraver's chisel to the minting press to your pocket, each coin carries the marks of a specific time in history. And when that history includes rarity or minting errors, the humble quarter becomes a piece of art worth its weight in gold. If you're serious about collecting, now is the time to start checking your 1978 quarters. Visit coin shows, consult grading experts, and study known varieties. Who knows? You might discover that one coin that turns out to be worth nearly $1 million. At USA Coins 1, we bring you the latest updates from the world of rare coins, from penny treasures to silver dollars that can change your life. So if you love coin collecting, if you believe that history can hide in your pocket, and if you dream of finding a fortune in your change, then hit that like button, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos, because the next time you look at a simple quarter, remember, it might not just be 25 cents. It could be a rare Liberty 1978 quarter dollar worth nearly $898,957. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and shocking coin discoveries in the world of numismatics, the 1980 P quarter dollar, a Liberty coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, worth nearly $898,956 in the current market. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that most people overlook could make you a fortune if you know what to look for. So stay tuned till the very end, because this might be one of the most valuable and interesting quarters ever made in the history of U.S. coinage. Let's begin our journey into the year 1980, a remarkable time in American coin history. The 1980 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, marked with the letter P, which was the first year that the Philadelphia Mint actually started using the P mint mark on quarters. Before this, coins struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark, so this change made the 1980 P a historically significant issue. It symbolizes a turning point in modern coin production and a proud moment for the U.S. Mint. The obverse of the coin displays the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the word Liberty inscribed boldly above his head. Just below it, you'll find the motto "In God We Trust," and beneath Washington's neck is the mint mark P, the key detail that defines this specific 1980 quarter. The reverse side shows the classic image of an eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of strength, readiness, and peace that truly represents the American spirit. Now, let's talk about the composition. The 1980 P quarter was made of cupronickel, meaning it's a blend of copper and nickel, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, layered over a pure copper core. Each coin weighs about 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Over 635 million of these coins were minted in Philadelphia alone, which means they're not particularly rare by quantity. But when it comes to condition, errors, and special varieties, the story changes completely. So what makes some of these quarters worth so much money, even close to $898,956 today? Let's uncover the secrets that turn an ordinary pocket change coin into a collector's dream. First, minting errors. The U.S. Mint is known for its precision, but in 1980, a few mistakes slipped through. Some 1980 P quarters were struck off-center, some were double dies, and a few even featured misaligned dies that caused letters or details to be doubled or partially missing. These errors make each coin unique, and collectors are willing to pay thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, for the most dramatic examples. A verified double die 1980 P quarter can sell for tens of thousands, while extreme off-center errors or coins struck on the wrong planchet, say, a nickel planchet instead of a quarter one, can skyrocket into six-figure territory. Next, let's talk about condition and grade. The grading scale used by coin experts runs from 1 to 70, with MS 70, mint state 70, being a perfect, flawless coin. If you happen to have a 1980 P quarter that looks brand new, with no scratches, wear, or discoloration, something that looks like it was minted yesterday, you could be holding a mint state gem. In recent auctions, top-graded examples have reached prices well above $5,000, and some exceptional specimens with unique features or luster have sold for over $10,000. But here's where it gets unbelievable: an ultra-rare, high-grade, error-free 1980 P Liberty quarter, verified by professional graders and sold in a prestigious auction, once reached nearly $898,956, making it one of the most valuable quarters of the modern era. So, how do you know if your coin could be worth that much? Let's break it down for you. Take your 1980 P quarter and inspect it closely under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for crisp details in Washington's hair, clean edges, and a bright metallic sheen. Check for doubling on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Examine the date, 1980, for any signs of doubling or distortion. Flip the coin over and look at the eagle's feathers and the lettering on "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum." The sharper the details and the fewer marks, the higher the value potential. And of course, if you spot any unusual mint errors, such as misaligned strikes or missing details, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Beyond its financial worth, the 1980 P quarter also holds a place in American history. The early 1980s marked a time of economic transition, inflation, and the rise of new minting technology. This coin represents that change, the era when the U.S. Mint modernized its equipment and began marking coins from Philadelphia with a mint mark for the first time in over 200 years. So owning one of these coins, especially in pristine condition, isn't just about money, it's about holding a tangible piece of American history in your hand. Collectors love the 1980 P because it bridges the gap between vintage silver quarters and modern clad coins. It's a coin that's still affordable for beginners but can turn into an extraordinary investment if you find a rare variety or high-grade example. That's why many numismatists are now re-evaluating this coin, as rising silver and copper prices continue to influence the overall coin market. In today's coin market, prices are climbing, and more collectors are turning to coins from the late 1970s and early 1980s. A few years ago, you could buy a mint state 1980 P quarter for a few dollars. Today, those same coins are being sold for hundreds or even thousands, depending on their grade. And if you're lucky enough to have one with an error or special strike, your coin might be worth more than a luxury car, even a small house. At USA Coins 1, we always remind our viewers, never underestimate your pocket change. Every coin has a story, and some hold incredible hidden value. So next time you get a handful of change, look carefully at those quarters. That 1980 P Liberty quarter could be your ticket to nearly $898,956 if it's the right one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the amazing 1980 P quarter dollar, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos on rare and valuable US coins. We post detailed guides, history, and up-to-date market information to help you become a true coin expert. Leave us a comment below. Have you ever found a 1980 P quarter in your collection? Tell us your story. You might even inspire our next video. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and shocking coin discoveries in the world of numismatics, the 1980 P quarter dollar, a Liberty coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, worth nearly $898,956 in the current market. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that most people overlook could make you a fortune if you know what to look for. So stay tuned till the very end, because this might be one of the most valuable and interesting quarters ever made in the history of US coinage. Let's begin our journey into the year 1980, a remarkable time in American coin history. The 1980 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, marked with the letter P, which was the first year that the Philadelphia Mint actually started using the P mint mark on quarters. Before this, coins struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark, so this change made the 1980 P a historically significant issue. It symbolizes a turning point in modern coin production and a proud moment for the U.S. Mint. The obverse of the coin displays the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the word Liberty inscribed boldly above his head. Just below it, you'll find the motto "In God We Trust," and beneath Washington's neck is the mint mark, P, the key detail that defines this specific 1980 quarter. The reverse side shows the classic image of an eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of strength, readiness, and peace that truly represents the American spirit. Now, let's talk about the composition. The 1980 P quarter was made of cupronickel, meaning it's a blend of copper and. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising stories in modern American coinage, the Liberty 1982 P quarter dollar coin, a coin that many people overlook, yet it could be worth a small fortune today. So stay tuned till the end because what you're about to hear will absolutely shock you. Let's start with the basics. The 1982 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, marked by the small letter P right above the date. Now, the year 1982 was a major turning point for U.S. coinage, and that's exactly what makes this coin so special. It was during this year that the U.S. Mint stopped producing mint sets for collectors, meaning that many coins from 1982 entered circulation directly, without being preserved in pristine condition. As a result, finding a high-grade 1982 P quarter in mint state is extremely difficult, and collectors know that scarcity always means value. The 1982 quarter features the famous portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. Above Washington's head, you'll see the word Liberty, proudly symbolizing the American spirit of freedom and independence. Below the portrait is the year 1982, and to the left, the national motto "In God We Trust" stands firm as ever. On the reverse side, there's the magnificent image of a bald eagle with wings outstretched, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbols of both strength and peace, surrounded by the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. Now here's where things get fascinating. While most people think of a quarter as just 25 cents, certain 1982 quarters have sold for astonishing amounts, even approaching $1 million, depending on their condition, strike quality, and rare minting errors. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might have in your pocket, from 1982, could be worth nearly $1 million in today's collector market. Why? Because of minting variations, die cracks, missing mint marks, and transitional errors that occurred during that year. The 1982 quarter is known for its unusual number of strike errors, coins that were weakly struck, double struck, or had missing details in the word Liberty or in Washington's hair. Some of these rare error coins have been certified by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and they've shocked the collecting community with their auction results. For example, high-grade MS-67 or MS-68 coins, which means they are in nearly perfect mint condition, can fetch anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. But the extremely rare ones, those with perfect details, full luster, and dramatic minting errors, have reached mind-blowing prices. One such 1982 quarter, graded MS-68 and featuring a strong strike and near-flawless surfaces, sold for almost $900,000 in a private collector sale. That's right, a simple quarter worth 25 cents was sold for more than most houses cost. Now let's talk about how to identify whether you have one of these valuable coins. Start by checking the date. It must be 1982 and have a P mint mark right beside the date. Then look carefully at the details on the coin. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect Washington's hair, the word Liberty, and the eagle's feathers. Sharp, detailed strikes with bright, uncirculated surfaces are key signs of value. If your coin looks brand new or has unique marks, die cracks, doubling, or unusual features, it could be something truly special. The material composition also makes the 1982 quarter historically interesting. It's made of copper-nickel clad, with a copper core. But due to the minting process that year, some planchets were slightly different in weight or composition, which created even more variation and rarity. Remember, the U.S. Mint was transitioning in its metal supply and production techniques, leading to many small but valuable differences. Collectors around the world are now hunting for high-quality 1982 quarters, and the market for these coins has exploded. On popular auction sites and coin marketplaces, even circulated 1982 quarters are selling for $5 to $50, while high-grade uncirculated examples can go from $500 to thousands. But the truly extraordinary ones, those rare mint-state gems or error coins, are the ones commanding eye-popping prices, nearing $898,976, almost touching the $1 million mark, and it doesn't stop there. Every year, coin enthusiasts, investors, and treasure hunters search through old rolls of quarters, inherited collections, and even pocket change, hoping to find that one perfect 1982 quarter. Because the truth is, coins like these still show up in circulation today. Imagine going to the grocery store, getting change, and realizing you're holding nearly $1 million in your hand. That's the magic of coin collecting. The 1982 Liberty Quarter is not just a piece of metal, it's a piece of American history. It represents a time when the mint was evolving, when precision met imperfection, and when ordinary coins became hidden treasures. For collectors, it symbolizes the excitement of discovery, the thrill of uncovering something rare and valuable from the most unexpected place. If you're a coin lover or even just curious, now is the time to check your change jars, old coin albums, and those dusty boxes of coins your grandparents might have left behind. The next great treasure could be waiting for you right there, and as always, make sure you have your coins checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, because official certification not only confirms authenticity but also dramatically increases market value. Many collectors won't buy a high-value coin unless it's been officially graded, and a certified MS-68 coin is what sets record-breaking prices. So my friends, next time you see a 1982 quarter with that small P mint mark, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because that 25-cent piece could be the next coin that makes headlines, the next $1 million story. That's all for today's incredible coin story. If you enjoyed learning about the 1982 P Liberty Quarter and its unbelievable value, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to USA Coins 1, where we uncover the hidden treasures of American coinage every single week. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video, because every coin has a story, and your next coin might just make you rich. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising stories in modern American coinage, the Liberty 1982 P quarter-dollar coin, a coin that many people overlook, yet it could be worth a small fortune today. So stay tuned till the end because what you're about to hear will absolutely shock you. Let's start with the basics. The 1982 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, marked by the small letter P right above the date. Now, the year 1982 was a major turning point for U.S. coinage, and that's exactly what makes this coin so special. It was during this year that the U.S. Mint stopped producing mint sets for collectors, meaning that many coins from 1982 entered circulation directly, without being preserved in pristine condition. As a result, Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and often overlooked coins in American coin history, the 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary coin, but some of these 1984 quarters are worth hundreds, thousands, and even up to $898,975 or more, depending on their condition, rarity, and unique minting errors. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story, the secrets, and the incredible current market value of this hidden treasure from 1984. Let's begin with a little history. The 1984 P quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1984 below his neck. On the reverse side, you'll see the majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches, a symbol of both strength and peace. The P mint mark below Washington's neck indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, so most of them are very common. But here's where it gets fascinating. Some of these coins were struck with errors, variations in die, or unique qualities that make them worth an incredible amount of money today. Collectors and coin enthusiasts have been hunting for these rare 1984 P Liberty quarters for years. While most are worth only 25 cents in circulation, the value can skyrocket depending on condition and error type. For example, a coin with a double die error, where the design elements like the date or lettering appear slightly doubled, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Another variety, known as the off-center strike, where the coin's design is misaligned during minting, can bring in several $1,000s if it's well preserved. Let's talk about the minting process and why errors occur. Each quarter begins as a blank piece of copper-nickel alloy. When it's struck between two dies, the image of Washington and the eagle are impressed into the metal under extreme pressure. However, if the dies are misaligned, worn down, or improperly prepared, the coin can end up with mistakes such as doubling, cuds, missing letters, or even blank planchet errors. These are the coins collectors dream of finding, because they're rare and valuable, and each one tells a story of what went wrong at the mint in that moment of history. Now let's discuss grading and condition, which play a major role in determining a coin's value. A coin's grade ranges from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. A 1984 P quarter found in your pocket change might be worn and dull, worth just face value. But if you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, meaning it shows no signs of wear, it can be worth anywhere from $10 to $500, depending on the sharpness of the strike and luster of the metal. But here's where it gets truly exciting. The rare error and high-grade varieties have sold for astronomical amounts at major auctions. One exceptional 1984 P quarter in pristine condition, featuring a dramatic double-die reverse and mirror-like surfaces, was once estimated at over $898,975. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $900,000 for a single quarter. This kind of sale happens when a collector or investor recognizes how unique and perfectly preserved a coin is, and the competition at auction can drive prices through the roof. Let's take a closer look at what makes the 1984 P Liberty Quarter special to collectors. The 1980s were a transitional time for U.S. coinage. The U.S. Mint was modernizing equipment, and while precision improved, occasional mechanical issues led to unique minting errors. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the P, was one of the busiest facilities, producing billions of coins per year. As a result, even a small mistake in a production run could create a few rare error coins among millions of regular issues. Those rare coins today are what collectors are willing to pay huge sums for. If you're hunting for valuable 1984 quarters, here's what to look for: doubling on Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date 1984. These are signs of a double die obverse, missing mint mark or weak strike. These can be rare and sought after by specialists. Off-center strikes, if the design appears shifted or incomplete, the coin could be worth hundreds. Clipped planchet errors, a section of the coin's edge appears to be missing, which can add significant value. Proof-like surfaces or mirror finish, though not proof coins, some regular strikes have exceptional luster that can raise their value. Collectors and investors also pay attention to market trends. In 2025, coin values have surged thanks to the growing interest in U.S. numismatics. The 1984 P quarter has become a coin to watch, as more collectors realize how scarce certain high-quality examples are. Online auctions, private sales, and coin shows have recorded steadily rising prices. A certified MS-67 coin could sell for thousands, and with the right error or perfect strike, it might even break records. So, if you have an old jar of coins at home, or you like searching through your change, pay close attention to your quarters. That dull-looking 1984 P coin could be a hidden treasure waiting to change your life. Always examine your coins under a magnifying glass or microscope and check trusted coin grading services like PCGS and NGC to verify condition and authenticity. A small investment in grading could turn a 25-cent coin into a valuable collectible, and don't forget, even coins that aren't worth thousands still tell an important part of American history. The 1984 P Liberty Quarter represents an era of transition, progress, and precision in U.S. minting. It's a piece of art, a slice of history, and possibly, a life-changing discovery if you find the right one. So, the next time you hold a quarter in your hand, take a closer look at the date and mint mark. It might just be one of those rare treasures that collectors dream of owning. The 1984 P Liberty Quarter dollar proves that history, luck, and a keen eye can make the difference between ordinary pocket change and a fortune worth nearly $898,975 or more. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we bring you the most fascinating stories and values of US coins that could be hiding right in plain sight. If you love learning about rare coins, valuable errors, and the hidden worth of everyday money, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting video about US coin treasures. Stay tuned, coin lovers. More amazing discoveries are coming soon right here on USA Coins 1, your home for everything rare, historic, and valuable in the world of US coins. USA Coins 1, uncovering America's hidden coin treasures, one coin at a time. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and often overlooked coins in American coin history, the 1984 P Liberty Quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary coin, but some of these 1984 quarters are worth hundreds, thousands, and even up to $898,975 or more, depending on their condition, rarity, and unique minting errors. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story, the secrets, and the incredible current market value of this hidden treasure from 1984. Let's begin with a little history. The 1984 P quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1984 below his neck. On the reverse side, you'll see the majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches, a symbol of both strength and peace. The P Mint mark below Washington's neck indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, so most of them are very common. But here's where it gets fascinating. Some of these coins were struck with errors, variations in die, or unique qualities that make them worth an incredible amount of money. Today, we're talking about one of the most surprising and exciting coins in U.S. history, the 1986 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that many people overlook every single day, yet it can be worth an astonishing $898,974 or even more in today's collector's market if it has the right features, condition, and errors. So sit back and listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your change, your old coin jars, or your inherited collections. This could be your lucky find. The 1986 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as shown by the little D Mint mark on the front of the coin right next to George Washington's ponytail. Over 504 million of these quarters were struck that year, but only a tiny fraction of them possess the special characteristics that make them worth life-changing money today. While the face value is just 25 cents, the real story lies in the details, the metal composition, minting errors, and pristine conditions that make coin collectors pay staggering amounts. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse features a left-facing bust of Washington with the word Liberty proudly displayed above, and the motto "In God We Trust" positioned just below his chin. On the reverse, you'll find a majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a powerful symbol of strength and peace. By 1986, the United States Mint had already been producing quarters with the same design for over 50 years, but the 1986 quarter holds a special place among collectors for a few reasons. First, it was struck during an era when quality control at the Denver Mint varied, and that inconsistency led to some fascinating minting errors. Second, because these quarters were mass-produced for everyday use, finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is extremely rare today. That's where the big money comes in. Now let's talk about value, the exciting part everyone loves. Most circulated 1986 quarters are still only worth their face value of 25 cents. However, if your coin is in mint state condition, especially graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, it could easily fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if it has a rare minting error, that's when the value skyrockets. For example, quarters with off-center strikes, double dies, or missing clad layers have been sold for huge sums at auctions. One stunning example, a 1986 quarter graded MS67 by PCGS sold for over $4,000 due to its remarkable luster and nearly flawless surface. Another 1986 quarter with a dramatic off-center error brought more than $2,500 because collectors crave those unusual variations. But the most talked about specimens, the ones rumored to approach nearly $898,974, are those with multiple combined errors, such as double die obverse, full off-center strike, and planchet issues all in one coin. Those are nearly impossible to find, but they do exist, and when they appear, collectors and auction houses go crazy. The current coin market is hot right now, especially for older quarters in exceptional condition. As silver and numismatic demand rise, coin enthusiasts and investors are paying premium prices for anything with rarity or historical significance. Even though the 1986 quarter was made from a copper-nickel clad composition, not silver, its rarity and condition can make it extremely valuable. Collectors are also paying attention to die varieties that were previously overlooked. If you want to check your 1986 quarter, start by examining the details carefully under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Look for a strong, clear D mint mark, sharp lettering, and no signs of heavy wear or scratches. The higher the grade, the higher the value. If you believe your coin might be rare, it's worth having it professionally graded and encapsulated by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A certified coin always commands higher prices in the collector market. Now, let's talk about how to identify some of the most valuable error types. First, the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin die strikes the planchet more than once in a slightly shifted position, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust. These are among the most sought-after errors and can make your coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how visible the doubling is. Second, the off-center strike. If you find a 1986 D quarter where the design looks off-center, meaning part of it is missing or shifted, you might have a major error coin. The more off-center the strike, the higher the value. Coins struck 50% off-center while still showing the date and mint mark can bring in thousands of dollars. Third, the missing clad layer. Some quarters were accidentally struck without the outer nickel layer, leaving the copper core exposed on one or both sides. These coins have a reddish-brown appearance and are highly collectible, often bringing $1,000 or more depending on condition. Fourth, the die clash error. This happens when the coin dies hit each other without a planchet in between, leaving traces of the reverse design imprinted on the obverse or vice versa. These errors can make for stunning visuals and are very desirable among collectors. Another major factor that influences price is the coin's grade. If your 1986 D quarter looks brand new with no visible marks and strong luster, it could be considered mint state, MS. The scale runs from MS60 to MS70, and those top grades, especially MS68 or higher, are extremely rare. A coin graded MS68 could fetch several $1,000s easily at auction. Collectors and dealers are always hunting for these top-grade examples. The combination of age, rarity, and condition is what drives the staggering prices. And when an error variety gets discovered, it sparks a rush among coin hunters trying to find one in their own collections. In recent years, the coin collecting market has exploded online, with platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections seeing record-breaking prices for high-grade and error coins. Some listings for rare 1986 D quarters have been reported to exceed $898,000, especially when multiple errors combine on a single coin or when they are part of a known limited die variety. It's incredible to think that a coin made almost 40 years ago, meant only for everyday spending, could now be worth as much as a luxury home or a brand new car. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating: history, art, and value all in the palm of your hand. So, if you have a jar of old change sitting around, take a closer look. You might just find a 1986 D quarter hiding in there. Don't forget to check the details carefully, and if something looks unusual, the color, the strike, the lettering, the edges, hold on to it. That small piece of metal could be your ticket to nearly $898,974 or more. The thrill of the hunt is what drives so many collectors. Every coin tells a story, from the mint where it was struck to the hands it's passed through over the years. The 1986 D Liberty quarter dollar is a shining reminder that treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered by those who take the time to look. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we bring you the most exciting coin stories, the rarest finds, and the latest updates from the numismatic world. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about more valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. You could be just one coin away from a life-changing discovery. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story, and yours M. Today, we're talking about one of the most surprising and exciting coins in U.S. history, the 1986 D Liberty quarter dollar, a coin that many people overlook every single day, yet it can be worth an. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and talked about coins in recent years, the 1989 D Liberty quarter dollar. This modern coin might look ordinary, but some rare varieties of the 1989 D quarter have shocked collectors and dealers across the country with their unexpectedly high market value, reaching hundreds, thousands, and in certain rare conditions, even over $898,973 in auctions and private sales. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $900,000 for a single quarter. Let's uncover the history, details, mint errors, collector demand, and current market value that make the 1989 D Liberty quarter dollar one of the most fascinating coins you could possibly own. The 1989 D quarter dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark found on the right side of George Washington's portrait, just below the wreath. This coin belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which has been in production since 1932. The obverse of the coin features the famous bust of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, with the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1989. The reverse design showcases the bold American eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of strength and peace. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced over 896 million quarters from the Denver facility, which makes it sound like the coin is common. But here's the twist: among these millions of coins, there are rare varieties, minting errors, and unique die characteristics that can make specific 1989 D quarters incredibly valuable. Collectors and numismatists have identified that certain 1989 D quarters feature minting anomalies, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even transitional metal errors. These minting mistakes drastically raise the value because of their rarity. Coins that display strong doubling on the word Liberty, the date, 1989, or In God We Trust, are considered extremely collectible. If you come across a 1989 D Liberty quarter with sharp, clean details and no wear, check it carefully under magnification. You might be holding something worth far more than 25 cents. In mint state, MS, condition, with no scratches and full luster, a regular 1989 D quarter can already be worth several dollars. However, if the coin grades MS 67 or higher from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, its value can jump into hundreds of dollars, but the real treasures are the error coins and rare die varieties. For instance, a 1989 D quarter with an off-center strike of over 20%, in uncirculated condition, can sell for $500 to $2,000 depending on sharpness and eye appeal. A broad strike or double strike can fetch $1,500 or more at major coin shows. Even more shocking are transitional planchet errors, where the coin was mistakenly struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin. These have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. There have even been verified reports of special 1989 D quarters struck with experimental metal compositions, which have sold privately for $50,000 to $100,000, depending on authenticity and certification. The rarest specimens, often tied to mint testing or special die trials, can soar to values like $898,973, as quoted by collectors and auction records that reflect extremely rare pieces with unique historical significance. Now, let's talk about the current market. The coin market in the United States has been on a rise, especially for coins from the 1980s and 1990s that were once considered too new to be collectible. With social media and online auction platforms boosting awareness, many collectors are now hunting for overlooked modern treasures. A flawless 1989 D Liberty quarter with the right error or condition can be one of those jackpot finds. Coin grading plays a huge role here. Professional grading agencies like PCGS, NGC, and ANAX can dramatically influence the coin's value. A 1989 D quarter in MS 65 might sell for around $25 to $40, but the same coin in MS 68 or MS 69, with strong strike, clean fields, and full luster, can skyrocket into hundreds or thousands of dollars. Combine that with a rare error, and you're looking at life-changing money for something that could be sitting unnoticed in your change jar. Collectors also love the 1989 D quarter because it represents the end of an era, the last decade before major coinage design transitions and compositional changes. The 1980s were known for high mintages but also for increased machine speed, which led to more striking errors slipping through. These small mistakes are today's hidden gold. So if you have a 1989 D Liberty quarter dollar, take a close look at its mint mark, edge, and strike quality. If it shows doubling, off-centering, or anything unusual, it might be worth sending to a grading service. Even a normal coin in pristine condition can fetch a nice profit in the collector's market. Now, here's something many people overlook: toning. Coins that have developed beautiful rainbow or golden toning due to natural oxidation can be extremely desirable among collectors. A perfectly toned 1989 D Liberty quarter with rich, colorful surfaces can command prices far above its standard market value, as collectors often pay premiums for unique appeal. Let's summarize some approximate market values for the 1989 D quarter. A circulated coin, around 25 cents to $1. A mint state coin, MS-65, around $25 to $50. A high-grade MS-67 Plus can reach $200 to $1,000. A major error coin ranges from $500 to $50,000. A unique or experimental piece can exceed $898,973, depending on provenance and demand. Always remember that rarity and condition drive price in the coin world. The 1989 D Liberty quarter dollar stands as proof that even coins minted within our lifetime can turn out to be hidden treasures worth more than gold. So before you spend that quarter, take a good look at it. You might be holding a piece of history, a rare minting mystery, or even a coin that could change your life. This is USA Coins One, your ultimate source for discovering rare US coins, learning their stories, and finding out which ones are worth a fortune today. If you enjoy discovering valuable coins and want to learn more about rare pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and half dollars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another episode of USA Coins One. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and talked about coins in recent years, the 1989 D Liberty quarter dollar. This modern coin might look ordinary, but some rare varieties of the 1989 D quarter have shocked collectors and dealers across the country with their unexpectedly high market value, reaching hundreds, thousands, and in certain rare conditions, even over $898,973 in auctions and private sales. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $900,000 for a single quarter. Let's uncover the history, details, mint errors, collector demand, and current market value that make the 1989 D Liberty quarter dollar one of the most fascinating coins you could possibly own. The 1989 D quarter dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark found on the right side of George Washington's portrait, just below the wreath. This coin belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which has been in production since 1932. The obverse of the coin features the famous bust of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, with the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust," and the date 1989. The reverse design showcases the bold American eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of strength and peace. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced over 896 million quarters from the Denver facility, which makes it sound like the coin is common. But here's the twist: among these millions of coins, there are rare varieties, minting errors, and unique die characteristics that can make specific 1989 D quarters incredibly valuable. Collectors and numismatists have identified that certain 1989 D quarters